Hello. I am back with more Minecraft because I don't feel like playing another game today. Okay, I think that's about right. Hello. Oh, that hurt. The thing is, I never do that when it's not recorded. I never accidentally don't have crouch enabled. It just doesn't happen. Yo, eating right now? Did I ask? No, I'm just kidding. I I'm streaming a little early today because I need to go to work at like 2. I will not be able to stream tomorrow because I go to work at 11. But I'm not gonna stream on Sunday because I usually don't. I'm just gonna spend the whole day with my wife. Okay, how many is this? I need to go to sleep before I get shot off. So I'm gonna try to finish the tree like wood wise today, and then we're gonna start on the next project that I already have planned. Well, I have the hallway planned. I don't have really anything else planned. Okay. I spent yesterday when I wasn't streaming building in creative what I thought this hallway was gonna look like. I'm just gonna use up the stone that I have, and then we'll move back to the tree. Also, what? Why are you named? I don't really nameless in Discord. Why am I not named? Oh, because my Discord is. I made my Discord for D&D, so I think it's just my name. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Yeah. It was one higher. You know, that's gonna save me time in the future. I'll raise this one. Yeah. Not a super interesting story, but a story nonetheless. Okay. So I built this in creative, and it looked actually really pretty good. Appears we have an issue. What's up? What's the issue? Grab all this. Oh, that I'm not named, ironically nameless in Discord. I guess I could try changing it. I don't know how. Do I have to make another Discord account? I don't know. No. Oh, the problem being that it was higher. Is that what you're talking about? Sorry, I'm so freaking tired, dude. I wish I only had to work 3 days a week, like I was planning on. But instead, it looks like I'm working 4 days every week. And tomorrow I have an 8-hour shift, which isn't going to be too terribly bad, but it means that I have to wake up and immediately go to work. And then, because we don't have a car, I sleep at 6 a.m., so, damn. I have to go to bed early now. I hate it, but since we don't have a car right now, I basically... I don't know. Okay. Since I don't have a car right now, every day I basically get, after work, I have to go over to my in-laws and just hang out, which, you know, it's not bad. It's just, I would much rather just, get the stuff I need to get done that day instead of sitting there waiting for someone to give us a ride or whatever. Which means that I don't get home until, last night we didn't get home until freaking 10. I got off work at 7. I just really want to have a car. If my work was close enough to my apartment, I would just walk home, but it's pretty far. It'd be probably an hour and a half of a walk, which I guess would save me an hour and a half about. Oh, I'm stupid as hell. I'm supposed to build this way with that, but I'm dumb, so I don't know. Well, this is what I knew would happen if I got the job. I'd be tired all the time, and I'd be very cranky whenever I had days off. Because I wouldn't put up with the stuff that I put up with usually. Ooh, nostalgic music. I guess so. I should get like a Minecraft. Oh, I do have Minecraft music actually. Sometimes I just listen to freaking classical music while I'm working. Not classical, just instrumental. Like no words. It's the least distracting. Not that I really care about getting distracted. I just, cool, yeah. One thing is, my job isn't really all that bad. The worst part about it is the ground. It's like all tile. There's no sits. Oh, it's been 2 months since I'm here. Ooh, that's true. Because we did Terraria in oh my gosh. We did Terraria in May or the beginning of June. One of those. That's when you found us. Found me. It's my channel. By the way. I am very extremely just loopy right now. It's easy to tell you're tired. Yeah. So this stream's gonna go until about probably 12:30ish again, unfortunately. But there's not really a but. It's just gonna go till 12:30, maybe 12:45. I do have, so next week for my job, I'm gonna break all of this because it's just not gonna work with the way that this wall is now. And I wanted to redo it anyway because it looks like garbage. I did it a long time ago when I didn't know how to do like the accents and stuff, and it just looks real bad. So let's do that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to break this anyway. I want to finish this stupid ass tree though, because I'm sick of the tree. I really am. I like building stuff like this. I really do. I hate building trees. Absolutely hate it. It is my least favorite thing. We're also going to be redoing this part of the wall, but it's going to be pretty easy to redo it because it's already sectioned off a way where I can redo it. And the same hallway is going to be on the other side. On the other side of the building. Is this the center? Oh, it is the center, actually. But it's centered according to the inside. Do you see how this has like a little extra right here? So it's centered according to the first room, which is from like that pillar all the way to this one. So it's pretty, yeah. It's gonna look good. It's gonna look real good. I hope, I really do hope, or maybe I should just ask if I can get pushed down to 3 days. Because 4, no, dude, I haven't. I'm sorry. 4 days just might be a little too much for me right now. Well, I already have next week. It's 4 days as well. I don't have any 8-hour days next week, but I only have one 5-hour day. Luckily, today is a 5-hour day, which, I mean, it's the easiest freaking thing you ever could think of. Because for 2 of those hours, almost everything that causes problems is closed. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I just don't have the money to be spending on games right now. I might be able to do it next month, though. Okay. So, I'll finish this frickin' thing later. The backs. A little bit later. I'm gonna put all this in here. I probably have enough to finish it, actually. Don't worry, take your time. Thanks, man. I probably do have enough to finish it. I just have to mine out all the stuff in the middle first. And then I have the same thing on this side. Bub. Yeah, same thing on this side. Okay. I'm just gonna go mine it real fast so you already mined too much. I know, dude. I know. But I have to go get tree stuff. Dude, if I had a room that was filled with the amount of trees I've freaking mined in this game, it would probably be bigger or just as big as the freaking chasm down here. Oh, and the worst part about it is that the bark that I'm using isn't even a 1-to-1 thing. I don't cut down one tree and get one. I cut down 4 trees, or I cut down 4 bricks and I get 3. So I cut down 1 and I get a 3/4. In Java, you can have statistics. Really? Of how many blocks that you've mined. Oh my gosh, that'd be nuts actually. Oh my gosh, I also mined all this out, but I don't think you really care about that. It's not that impressive. Because this wasn't a cave. I literally dug all of this. I was just gonna dig straight until I got enough stuff to build. But this isn't growing. I guess I'm not really around here all that much. I think you have to plant 4 like this, like right by each other, and it grows 1. So with saplings, it's not as efficient, but with other things, like as in the amount of freaking wood it gives me in the short amount of time, is definitely going to be better. When I get back to mining stone, I don't have to mine stone for a while. Because, how many chests you opened, how many times you jumped, things like that. Wow, that would be nuts. That would be absolutely nuts to know. Because so on my PlayStation, and I'm pretty sure it's just counting how many hours I put into it on my PS5. Pretty sure. It could be with PS4 as well. I didn't play Minecraft a whole lot on when I had my PS4, except for on the previous server world. And right now I'm at like 500 hours of Minecraft. You have a PS5? Yeah. That's what I've been doing all these videos on. Have I not said that? I guess you really haven't been... I haven't really played any PS5 games since you joined. I could do a Demon Souls playthrough, but I think everyone would get mad at me at how I play. Because I think all the bosses in that game are really dumb, and it's actually funner to cheese half of them than to actually fight them. I play Elden Ring on it. I have PS2, 3, and 4. I only have PS5, which is backwards compatible with PS4. I also have a Wii U, a Switch, a computer, so I can play indie games and stuff. I can't play really like... I might do a playthrough of Zelda Randomized now that you're on the channel. Because I did in the past when I wasn't super big, and those videos just don't get a whole lot of traction. Alright, I'll plant more freaking trees, I guess. Yeah, those videos just don't get a whole lot of traction. Unless you have an audience. It's a very niche thing already. And since I am an extremely niche channel, it just doesn't work well. But now that I have at least 2 fans that watch almost all the time, Sadis has been more sparse now, but... Wait, what? This isn't falling apart, which is it, wouldn't it? Wait, what? Was that a birch tree with a sakura branch? Where? Over here? Kinda, yeah. Interesting. To the left. Or this way. Oh. Oh. What the hell? Oh, there's no one down here. It's like a virus. It's spreading. Laughed. Sorry. That's wild, actually. It's probably because there's wood nearby, and like the game just has like a code thing that says like if there's wood within this like many blocks of your branches, it just doesn't disappear, which means that that tree is just now pink. It's a hive mind. It starts consuming its freaking host. That's so funny, actually. Oh my gosh. Alright, I have a bunch of these. Let's just plant them. I haven't been planting in a while, so let's plant them away from each other so that I can get more freaking trees at once instead of just two. I was gonna cut down all the birch and just have these back here, but then I got bored, and I don't need birch, so I just stopped doing it. I should just live stream my entire work experience. Just get a GoPro and just live stream it. Of course, I mean, I don't know. Do you know how trees work? No. I don't know how trees work. I kind of wish cutting trees down was like in Terraria. Why do you plant them so close? Because I spread them out the first time, and what it does is that like you cut it down and then you have to immediately replant it. Well, this allows me to have any of them grow. I cut it down and move on to the next one. That way I can just ignore the whole trees growing right by each other thing. Dude, I remember when you could do that. I mean, obviously not with these kinds of trees, but with normal trees. I remember when you could freaking have like 4 planted right by each other. They'd make like this giant tree. It was awesome. Imagine tree farms back then. It'd be so nice. It'd be so nice. Also, new cherry trees? No. See, they're infecting those trees too. They're a plague! Just imagine like looking at a tree farm back then and it just being one solid tree. Like I would plant all the trees right here and I'd come back and it'd just be a solid ass tree. See, I think why these aren't growing is because we got too many branches over here. Minecraft gets a lot of views. I should just do Minecraft, man. It is the least amount of work because I'm already going to be playing it. And I get so many freaking views. Like my last one didn't get a whole lot. The one before that, I freaking ended the stream with like 20 views on it, which is just that's just not like something I average. And and to be honest, like compared to most other videos that you could probably watch on YouTube, I probably don't get a whole lot of views. But dude, less than a year ago, my average view count per stream was 5 to 10. And that was like in its whole video life span. Just in the last like 3 months, it has risen from 10 to like 25. It's more than doubled. In fact, I'd say I've only had probably like 5 streams that have been 10 or lower. They're usually average about 15, I would say. But I still do get some of those streams that are just below 10. Usually when I do like GTA or something. For some reason, GTA is one of the most viewed things on YouTube, but it is a very hard genre to get into if you're a new creator. Well, Minecraft apparently is really easy, just like Terraria, where I just started streaming it, and like my Terraria freaking blew up when I was streaming Terraria. Little Nightmares is weird though, because I did it freaking okay, whatever. Little Nightmares is weird because I'll get one video that's like 25 views, which is pretty good, and then the next one for no reason will have 88 views. Yeah, it got 80 views in the first day. And it's the same thing that happened with our first Little Nightmares playthrough. It just got, like, the finale just got so many views for no reason. And the problem is, I mean, I'd love to keep playing Little Nightmares, but the problem is it's a linear game. And, it might help me get new people. But it would not be... Sorry, that was my phone. Winnie! I'm streaming.
Not my phone, you didn't turn off the phone.
Oh my gosh. I'm not going to turn off my notifications on my phone. Right, my recordings are 69. What the hell was I saying? Oh. No, that's fine. It's whatever. It's. I would love to keep playing Little Nightmares, but like, I used to play my 2 main videos were Last of Us and Elden Ring for a while. Because The Last of Us was coming out, there was like the new part 1 that came out and stuff. So I had like, I don't know, like 3 playthroughs in 1 year on the channel. And anyway, I had like 3 playthroughs in 1 year on the channel. And then when I wasn't playing that, I was playing Elden Ring usually. And so D started being like, dude. It was back when he watched me like all the time. He was like, dude, you gotta play something else. You just gotta. Were you there for my Dark Souls 2 playthrough? I think you were. At least for the most part. So that was fun. I wanted to do the same thing with Bloodborne. But I don't know. Bloodborne. Let me check. Okay. I think you were. Because it's... Oh, maybe... No. You weren't? Okay. I feel like someone was there. I don't remember. Is that before Terraria? I don't remember. Like, at all. I know it was before Tears of the Kingdom. So it might have been before Terraria. Code Vein or Elden Ring, maybe. Okay. I know I've done a few Elden Ring videos recently where it was supposed to be all co-op, but then my brother was like, yeah, I don't want to play anymore. So, after like the first session. It was before. Okay, so it was before the Terraria one, huh? Interesting. I guess that would have been right after I met Bebop, so yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, it really feels really recent. It's interesting. I don't know, time is just being really weird to me today. I just hope I have a low-key shift. Problem is it's a freaking Friday, which means that we're probably gonna get a lot of customers. I'm not gonna get anything done like yesterday. So how like my job works? I work at the deli. I'm gonna eat, but no one is home, so I'm still watching. Okay. How it works at the deli is basically the whole time I'm either prepping some like small foods that we like package up and sell on the shelf, cutting meat, or I'm cooking the stuff in the hot case, which is where like you go get like chicken tenders and potato wedges and whatnot, fried chicken. And I have a list of things that need to be done that day, or not really that need to be done. It's very optional, but I mean you have nothing else to do. But like yesterday, I had a coworker that, not that she was bad at multitasking, but she definitely overworks the hot case. For example, we close the hot case at 5. I think it's supposed to be open until 6, but we close it at 5 because usually there's only one person at the deli at 5. And their job is just to clean up everything and close everything. So we close the hot case at 5. Well, she decided, like, I guess she just does this thing where at like 4:30 she starts doing a whole new batch of tenders and another batch of like just fried chicken, like thighs, breasts, legs, wings and stuff. And which makes it so you're cooking all that instead of closing it down, or when you have to close it down in 30 minutes. Basically, you're closing it down while it's done, like being done cooking. And when you close it down, you put all the stuff into like boxes and sell it cold, basically. So instead of having like 5 things to box up, and there's just other things that you just don't box up, like we don't box up the onion rings. So apparently I get to take that home every day. If there's enough, And instead of just like having it be easy, now we're boxing up like 8 different things, and on top of that, we could have start like at 4:30. You could take apart the fryers or leave them off, and then at 5 start taking them apart, and going cleaning them. Because we have to do that too. We have to clean the grease trap, and we have to clean like the stoves and whatnot. Which the stoves could have all been cleaned way before we did. So we barely got out of there at like 7. Like I'm pretty sure I clocked out exactly at 7. Which every other day when there's 2 people at the end, because I'm new, they want 2 people to be there, because I don't know how to do everything. At the end, when there's 2 people that are there, they like it. I have had a hard time of getting out any time past 6:30. I was just like, man, like I'm definitely not doing it like this. Like that is so much extra work for myself. Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous. But you know, that's just how she does it, and that's fine. I mean, she can do however she wants. All I know is when I'm closing, I'm not doing it that way. I'm not freaking. I'm not. Making myself work more than I have to for no reason. Especially when I'm cooking, I'm frying the chicken just so I could put it into like a cold box. So I have like this plan of like when I'm gonna do stuff, because I think after this week I will be like the closing person, or maybe it'll be the end of next week. So like this could be a trial period. I don't know. I will be the closing person. Which tomorrow, holy crap, dude, I'm gonna take some liberties tomorrow. If I'm this tired today, I mean, 5-hour shifts are pretty nice. You know, I get a lot of time in the morning to myself, like right now, and then I also get quite a bit of time at night. I get at least 5 extra hours if I want to go to bed at 12, which usually I go to bed at 1, so it's more like 6 extra hours. It's pretty nice. 5-hour shifts. It's 8-hour shifts are gonna suck. I mean, it sounds like it's an extra 3 hours, but it's like, I don't know. That's the thing I always do whenever I get a new job, is that I'll get trained to do something, and the first few days I won't think anything about it. You know, I'll just do it how I was told. But then, after I get kind of into a groove, I start making everything way more efficient for myself. Like my last job, I figured out like the exact order of when I needed to do stuff, so that I wouldn't have to do like 15 other things at the same time. I figured out, because I had to do like this whole stream of like printing off papers and whatnot and putting them in certain spots, and I figured out what to print at what times and what to print together and what to print separate and like all this other stuff that no one ever told me. I figured out how to, efficiency so that I could get the job done fast and simple, you know. So basically, how the back of the deli where I will be working is like an L shape, and we just think of it like an L, like a capital L. Okay, oops, what? Did I miss something? I think I missed something over here. I did. Maybe. Maybe I didn't. No, I did. So it wasn't even attached. Okay, so it's like a capital L shape. So, in my mind, yesterday, because I started actually like thinking about it, because I did not like the absolute. Oh, no, okay. I did not like the absolute chaos that was happening yesterday. Not to mention the fact that, like, I mean, my coworker did clean all the dishes, I guess. I did kind of feel like I did everything else. Which, I mean, you know, is not really that big of a deal. I'm going to have to do everything in the future. But basically what I'm thinking is 5, I no longer do the list of things I need to prepare anymore. I just start cleaning and helping customers. So when 5 hits, I completely stop doing the, we call them grab and goes. So I'm doing the grab and go list. And I go shut down the hot case, clean all that, put everything in the sink that needs to be cleaned. While doing all that, I help whoever needs help at the front or whatever. And then, yeah, I have to clean all the dishes and everything. It's not actually that bad, to be honest. I mean, I'm getting paid like about $15 an hour after tax, which is freaking nuts. My last job I had, like actual job, I was getting paid like $12.50, and that was before tax. So after tax, I was getting like $10 an hour, and I was working. I had to work like 24 hours a week at night just to get like $2.50. Yeah, it was about $2.50. So every 2 weeks, I got paid like $500. This job, if I work 24 hours at this job, I get like 300 and something bucks in just that week. Which means I get almost $700 at the end of those 2 weeks. Like at the end of this week and the next week, also I get paid weekly, so it's really nice. At the end of this week and next week, I will have earned $700 in just 2 weeks, which is really freaking nice, especially when it's part-time. Yes, I am a nerd, okay? I know. I like budgeting, man. It's really fun. It's like in a survival scenario when you're trying to budget resources. I always like doing that, figuring out how many just figuring out like I don't know, math stuff, I guess. I think it's really fun. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm working like less hours than my last job and getting paid more at the end of each week. And I'm working better hours. I mean, I love the night shift, and I'd love to have another one at a hotel that actually would pay me. Because it's very, very low key. Like, you'll get done working, and yes, you'll be exhausted because you're up all night, but you won't be, like, mentally exhausted, if you know what I mean. 5 nights at dishes. Can I make it 5 nights at Freddy's game, but there's no, like, actual threat? You just have to get all the stuff you need to get done, and nothing happens. Just a night shift simulator. One second. This is a call from the school, the high school. Because I had filled out a thing about being a special ed aide or something. Someone is home, unfortunately. Do not have like headphones, bruh. Whitney. She's probably asleep. Oh, I canceled out of the video. That's what happened there. There we go. Wait a bit. Okay. I'll wait exactly 60 seconds. It's not like I'm doing anything important or interesting, I should say. That's not important, but it's just not interesting. I hate cutting down trees, man. Anyway. I'm so tired. I literally thought when I woke up this morning that I had woken up early because it was bright outside, my alarm hadn't gone off and stuff. I was like, you know what? I would usually get up early if I wake up like this, but I'm gonna go back to sleep. Laid my head back on the pillow and my alarm went off. I was like, oh. So I didn't wake up early. Well, I did. I woke up, 3 minutes early. Yeah. I don't know. I don't miss the fact of like being tired all the time and having days off and whatnot, and oh, you're back. I never missed the whole feeling just absolutely wrecked at the end of the day of work. I didn't miss dreading going to sleep because the next day I have to get up and go to work. I never missed that. It's one of the nice things about having a nighttime job is that it's not really how it works. And also I only had to work 3 days a week. And I got paid pretty well. Well, I didn't get paid well. I did enough hours that I got paid enough to live. Wasn't, rich by any means, but I would have loved to stay at that job if the management did not get toxic as hell towards the end. Like at my new job, I was just like, man, what I wouldn't give to have a freaking nighttime job like that again. But also, I mean, when I had that job, I didn't have a wife. I didn't, do a bunch of the social stuff that I do now. I basically was just, I lived at my apartment, did like 2 social things a month, and nothing else. And streamed and wrote. Like, that's all I did. Now, I get a lot of my social in by going to my job. So I don't feel like I need to go outside a whole lot. I actually cherish being inside now instead of just going, like, at the end of my day. I still have that problem with at the end of my day, I feel like I didn't do anything when I have a day off. But I'm going to start writing a heck of a bunch more to get rid of that feeling. Because I hate that feeling, dude. I hate the feeling of, like, I literally woke up today, played video games, and went to bed. Like, I absolutely hate that feeling. Sometimes when I stream, I won't have that feeling. But lately, even when I stream, I'll get that feeling of like, I just did nothing today. Like the only real thing that gets rid of that is writing, for me. And I know some people, the only thing that gets rid of that is work. I have a brother-in-law a different brother-in-law than the one I talked about before, that he's definitely like that. I don't know if that's exactly the reason why, but he gets stressed out from not working. And in my opinion, the only reason I get stressed out like that, and I have in the past, especially with DoorDash, because even with DoorDash, you just didn't feel like you did anything that day. Even though you definitely did. I mean, we paid for this apartment and all of our food for freaking 6 months now. It's not like it wasn't working when it did. But I'm just glad to move on from it. I already had way too many things that I had to, like, when there's something that you're the only person that will know that you didn't do it, or that you were lazy that day. I'm not talking about like something that you should be doing at your job that you're not or whatever, but like you have a project that you love to do, but it still like is kind of working, like, and it takes effort, and you have to really convince yourself to do it. I don't know if anyone else can relate to this. Basically, like, I don't know. It's like you're doing homework that you don't turn in. Like your teacher tells you, hey, if you just want to, learn more about this subject, just do this packet right here. Don't turn it in. It's not worth any extra credit points, nothing. That's what writing feels like. Because at the end of the day, I don't have to tell anybody that I didn't write today. I don't have to tell anybody that even when I did write, I barely got any writing done. I don't tell anybody that. Most of the time I don't. But like, Anyway, the problem was that I had way too many projects like that. So like streaming, for instance, I had to convince myself to stream sometimes. It's been easier in the last few days just because I'm like, I'll just play Minecraft and talk. Like, I'm going to play Minecraft anyway. So it's been a little easier in the last few days. And sometimes it gets really easy. But other times, I just don't have a game that I want to be streaming. I don't have a game that I really want to be playing. And so I just don't. Like, I'll have all the time in the world. Like, I had a day off last week. I had a few days off last week, and I didn't stream once. And, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that was going on. But, yeah. Like, I'll use anything as an excuse. So I have to convince myself to stream. It's not as hard as convincing myself to write, though. Convince myself to write is very hard. I'll easily get distracted and not do it. I'll do other things instead. I'll definitely procrastinate, and it's been a lot harder since I've gotten married. I was doing something for a second. It's all good. I'm just talking about like the projects that I have to like really get on myself to do that like no one else is gonna really care if I do it or don't do it. You know, like obviously streaming, I get a straight up response whenever someone's on the stream, and whenever someone talks to me or comments or subscribes and stuff, I get a direct repercussions from streaming. Writing, I get none. Most time when people say that, like, they'll read what I've written or whatever, they want to read it or whatever. They have busy lives, and we all kind of sign ourselves up for stuff that like we just don't realize how unrealistic it is to commit to it, and then eventually you just kind of like let it fall by the wayside. And I've had that happen with a lot of people where they want to read something because I'll talk about my book or whatever, so they want to read something, and then life happens and they just don't get around to it. So even when there is a direct response, sometimes it doesn't pan out. But even then, like, that's only sometimes too. Like, even if there have been a few times where the people have actually read my stuff and whatnot and liked it or whatever. But I don't know. It's just not the same. Because if they don't say anything bad about it, it's not like useful information. Like, oh yeah, it was really good. Then I'm like, cool. But then if they do say something bad about it, even though I want them to, it like destroys my entire confidence. Because another thing about writing is all the doubts, all the things that people could say wrong, like that's wrong about my book or whatever, I've already thought 1,000 times over. Every critique, everything that someone could say is just not, doesn't work well or whatever. I know, because I already thought that about 100 times while I was writing it. And that was the problem with DoorDash. Again, bringing it back to DoorDash. DoorDash was another one of those things where, I could justify us taking a day off. But like no one would know. But then all the time, like, if you could justify taking a day off, your brain will do it. If you can justify, not doing something that requires work, even if you like doing it, I feel like a therapist again. That's what this whole channel's for. It's just like, I'm just monetizing my therapy sessions. Instead of paying someone for me to go to therapy, I get paid to go to therapy, so. Actually, I don't get paid jack. But like when your brain knows that you can get away with not doing something, especially if like you're already tired or whatever. Like, for instance, you wake up in the morning and you're just so tired. But and let's say you have to go to school, like high school, back in high school. You wake up in the morning, you're so tired, and you just don't want to go to school, and you get the idea of, oh, what if I just tell my mom I'm sick? Then I don't have to go to school. And while that's an option, and I'm not going to say it's a good option or a good thing to do or whatever, your brain, it's really hard to get your brain out of that zone of like, oh, there is a way out of this. Because if there's a way out of doing something hard, your brain will almost always do it. Just so you know, I never did that. I did it all the time. But actually, I did it when I was in elementary school because you can literally just not show up to a single day of elementary school and still get a C. Elementary school is like, I think, it may not be called that in France. It's probably called like grade school or something. It was just so easy, you know. Even though I was really dumb back then, like I couldn't do math. I couldn't focus on anything. I think if I skip a day, I'm trash. Yeah, I knew people that had that like mentality as well. But I always knew that, like, one, I would go through all the classes in my day. I was a very overthinker in high school. So I'd go through, like, all the classes in my day and think about what the heck I would miss. And my biggest thing that I didn't want to miss was math class. Mostly because of how my teacher did math class. Again, with that efficiency mindset. So my teacher would give us an assignment every single day. And so you just always have homework, basically. But he would also give you about maybe 15 minutes every class period to work on that new assignment. So I would immediately, like, I never showed my work in high school. And I used to think it's because I was lazy, but it's not. For COVID, I always get one day. I was sick, yeah. But it wasn't because I was lazy. It was because I had figured out the most efficient way to get my work done without having to take it home and doing it. Because I knew at any moment, if that assignment left the classroom, I was not going to get it done. I knew it with everything. I knew it with absolutely everything. And that class was the most stressful about it because I would not, I would get it every single day. Like every other class is, like, let's say language arts, for instance, that teacher would give us a big assignment, but that, like, they'd usually give us, like 3 or 4 class periods to get it done in. So, like, I just had figured out, and thinking back on it, it's definitely what I did. I had figured out the most effective way that I could get it done. And yeah, while I could force myself to do it at home, it was a lot harder to do it that way than to just get it done in that class. So I decided, no matter what it took, I would just go get it done in that class. Sometimes I would sneakily work on the first few questions while the lecture's going on. He had a rule that you, like, don't do the assignment while I'm talking. Basically, he was pretty strict about, like, you're not doing anything else while I'm up here lecturing, which was fine because math was one of the only classes where I paid the most attention in. Let's see. Okay, let's just go freaking build this tree. Oh wait, I need an axe. Have any axes anywhere in here? I have this one. Yeah, might as well. But I was one of those kids that actually liked math class. It was mostly because I knew if I just looked at the problem or looked at anything on it, I could solve it. Like, I knew I could find the answer just by doing the assignment. And I knew all the assignments were doable. The problem with all the other classes were like pretty much every other class you would do essays or whatever. I could never see myself doing the essay. Not only that, I didn't know, like, there was no formula of how to do an essay correctly. Even if you followed all the steps, you followed the entire, like, this is how you structure and everything. If you don't know what your voice is while writing, like, I was terrible at it. Seriously. Sincerely, I was terrible at it. I probably plagiarized so much in high school that I just forgot about. There were a few times I didn't, ironically enough, those were the ones. Every time I didn't plagiarize, I always got accused of plagiarizing, and it happened in college too. It was always the ones I did not copy and paste. And I will admit, I did copy and paste other ones, you know. Or maybe I paraphrased them or changed the wording on them or whatever. But the ones I actually put effort into, I would always get accused of plagiarizing. Because I would research it and I would remember it very well. And I just didn't have a good voice. So it didn't sound like a real person or something. I don't know. It was always something different with every single teacher. I had a college professor that had an essay that was, like, so they had a test, and at the end of the test was an essay. And those are always fun, but I say that with all the sarcasm in the world. They had an essay at the end. You didn't know what the question was going to be before you got in there. You just had to write it during your test hours, because that's great. Luckily, I took this while I was in high school, so I had all the time in the world. But, so, anyway, I go ahead, and this is like a 200 minimum word essay. And I go ahead and write 600 words. Which at the time was crazy to me, because, like, in high school, your biggest essays were like 300 words. And looking back on that, like, I can write 300 words in an hour. Yeah, it would not be that hard. Now. I mean, now I don't write that much just because I took kind of a big break from writing and now I'm getting back into the groove. But I bet in like a week or so of me starting to write up again, I will be back to that. But yeah, I can write that in an hour. But I wrote the 600 freaking word thing, which 600 words is like 3 pages or something. Depends on the font size and everything, you know. It's about 3 pages. It's a lot for a freaking essay that only required 200 words. I got a 0 on that. I looked at my friend that got like a freaking 95% on that essay. He wrote 2 paragraphs. And he looked at mine when I was done with it and he's like, "Oh, dude. Like, what the heck?" He's like, "What? Like, you didn't need to do all that." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And then he saw that I got a 0 on it and he was like, "That's ridiculous." And it's because the teacher, she didn't say I copied and pasted. I did not, by the way. It was an open book thing, but I did not copy and paste. She said, "Obviously, you got all of your information from Wikipedia." And that was it. She didn't say if it was wrong. She didn't say if I had studied it. Like, she didn't say if any of it was wrong. She didn't say if I structured it like poorly or if I copied and pasted, if it was plagiarized or whatever. I'm sorry. Yeah, seriously, that's all she said. That I just got my information from Wikipedia, which I don't know if you guys use Wikipedia, friends. Wikipedia is like this. Anybody can go on and edit like this information, so it's not like the most reliable source or whatever. But yeah, so she claimed I got everything from Wikipedia, even though like none of it was copyright claimed. Like none of it. So what is the problem? Even if I did get it from Wikipedia, what's the problem? I'm not saying I did. It was. What's her address? I have no clue. I took it online through my school. Yeah, no. I would recommend to anybody that's taking college courses in America, do not do online political classes, especially because all of them are freaking. It was because the reason why I got a 0, by the way, I figured it out. I went back and read the essay. It was because I took a more of a conservative stance, which I don't know if you know this. Conservative is like one of our political parties. You know, I took more of a conservative stance on part of my essay. You know, and I cited sources and stuff of like whatever the frick. Actually, I didn't cite any sources because it wasn't required. It was an argumentative, and I didn't bring up any facts or anything. I didn't bring up anything like that. You know, so I didn't have to bring up any sources. And this teacher was clearly a liberal, like absolutely, you know. And I don't have anything against liberals. I don't care. I don't consider myself a conservative at all, because I think a lot of their mentality is really stupid. Like how I've already gone over this. The whole job stuff. How it's your fault if you don't have a job. It's like, I've been unemployed. Technically, I was not unemployed. I actually found out DoorDash is not considered unemployed. But also, I've been, you know, I was looking for jobs and stuff, and everyone was just telling me that it was my attitude and everything, and that, you know, whatever. And it was because of that conservative mindset that if you put your mind to it, you can get any job. You know, the only people that don't have jobs are lazy people. The only people that are homeless are lazy. There's so many institutions, or there's so many programs that help you get jobs these days, that the only real excuse is that you're lazy. And that's just not the case at all. It really is not. You do not have to be lazy to not take a shitty job. That doesn't make you lazy at all. If you're going to take a job that you know you're going to quit in like a week, why would you take that job? Anyway, that is a purely conservative stance. They believe every homeless person. Well, okay, I'm not gonna say they, because there was an individual person that probably has different beliefs about this. But they believe that, you know, homeless people are just lazy. These are some of the beliefs I just do not agree with. They believe that the new, you know, generation are just lazy workers that don't know how to work. And instead of looking at like, whoa, I'm sorry, yeah, it's not a big deal. The problem I have is that it's basically just an excuse to treat people like crap. Basically, you know, and say what you want about the liberal side, they at least understand certain things. They won't just completely. Um, they don't victim blame, is what I'm trying to say. And there's a lot of things with liberals I do not agree with, but it's just one of those things that like my actual liberal friends totally understood. And the funny thing is, there's no reason why the conservatives wouldn't understand. The conservatives that I know, it's just they've been programmed to say certain things when certain things happened. It's very weird. It's very strange. Anyway, what was I talking about before all this stupid politics shit? That's dumb. School. Oh yeah, I was talking about like getting screwed over. So yeah, so I didn't plagiarize anything in that, and I got a 0 because I took a conservative stance on something or something like that. Me and my friend looked at the assignment and we're like, oh, that's what happened, you know. Okay. The exact same thing happened in political science class. I had taken in one of the essays. I had taken like a political opinion that this person did not share. They were transgender and definitely liberal, and they had made they had made the claim that if like you were within 1% of passing a class, they would bump you up. If you're at 69%, which is a D plus, they would just bump you up to a C minus. That way you just get the credit because you basically did everything. At the end of the class, no joke, had 69.8% because I had missed a test that I didn't know was happening. And I was like, I actually got like the flu and stuff. And I couldn't go to school for like a week. I couldn't sign into that account because it was tied to my school account. So like there's no way to go check the syllabus or anything to see if I was missing anything. I come back and realize that I just missed like a really big test. So I message the person that was in charge of the class, asked like, "Hey, I didn't know I couldn't get on like the website because my school, this is how my school does it. Would there be any way I could, take the test or, make up for it?" No response. End of the freaking class comes, and I have 69.8%. And nothing happens. I failed the class. And it was the same friend that was in that class too. Yeah. Oh no. He didn't take that class with me. He took it the next semester, and I told him the story about it. And he was like, "Oh, dude, yeah, the first freaking lesson, they said that they would bump you up if you were that close." And I was just like in my head, like, no, you wouldn't. Every freaking college professor says that, but if they don't like you, they won't do it. And that's just that. Like it's a way to play favorites that I wholeheartedly do not agree with. Mostly because college classes are just freaking stupid anyway. I'm not a huge fan of how colleges work in America. I think they're kind of ridiculous. Alright, let's see what we're 1, 2, 3, 4, up. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. Like I say, yes, sale. What does that mean? 1, 2, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, up. 2 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. Up. It said yes, I don't know how to pronounce stuff, dude. I'm American. I can barely speak my own language. It doesn't mean anything. Okay. Alright, maybe a little bit more. Alright, there we go. I invented that. Nice. Oops. I actually do have a problem with like classes. I don't know how it works in France, so I have no idea. But in America, everything is taught the same as math. So let me explain. So there will be, let's say there's a course. So you're taking algebra, for instance. There will be a, not a course, but like the course is split up into segments, and I forget what that's called. Like sometimes it's called like a chapter or whatever, but it's like, anyway, you'll have a book and it's separated by chapters where you learn certain things and not other things. And usually each chapter builds on the last chapter and does like new equations and whatnot. And at the end of each chapter, you take a test and just to see how much you retained of the chapter. Okay. Every single subject is taught that way in school. I don't know how it's done in France, so I can't say like, well, think about how you were taught this. No. Language arts. There's a course. The teacher gets to decide certain things about the course, sure. But there's a course, you do a chapter or you do a subject, and then you have a test or an essay about what you learned. Go to health class. Health class, you learn things that are in chapters. Oh, I guess I have to keep this then. Same here, yeah. You learn things that are in chapters, and you take a test at the end of each chapter. Every single freaking subject is taught like it's math. Why the heck would we structure language arts like math? Think about that. Like, why would a creatively based class be structured like math? Now, I will say, if you are creative, it will help you in math, sure. But my problem is, so for instance, when you're taught how to do an argumentative essay for the 18th time or whatever, you know, in your senior year of high school, they actually teach you formulas of how to write.
formulas. What other class teaches you formulas? Oh, the class that actually uses them to solve problems. Why is there a formula for how you should write a specific type of writing? Like informational and argumentative are the only kind of writings they can teach in school because they're the only ones that aren't inherently creative. And I can prove that because AI can do informational writing and argumentative writing. Like AI can. A freaking computer that is just taking information that's already been freaking put on the internet can make an informational article and can make an argumentative article. You know what AI can't do very well? Make a fiction. Like make a chapter in a fiction novel. They can't make children's books. I mean, you could probably make one that could produce children's books. Would they be nearly as good as actual children's books? No. But you can have an AI make an argumentative essay that is almost as good, or you couldn't tell that it was an AI as much as you would with like them writing a children's novel. That's why and also, why the heck would we be teaching that kind of writing in school anyway? Informational is academical, so I understand why we'd be teaching that one, but argumentative is not academical. So I don't understand why we're even teaching that. Unless it was in like journalism. Because journalism needs to be argumentative all the time. But we are taught how to do it in freaking language arts. Do you ever take a class, like, does the class ever have you come up with a story? Maybe it'll have you write a story about your own life, but that's also informational. You are relaying a factual story. What you aren't doing is structuring a story. You aren't structuring character. You're not writing characters. These characters are real people that actually exist. They don't need to have character arcs because they're real people. Their character arcs could take years to happen. So, like, there's never a class in high school, and I'm talking about high school here, because you could go to a college that has creative writing classes. I took one. It wasn't great. It was still informational writing, and the teacher was awesome. It was all online because it was COVID, so everything had to be online. She did a really good job. What wasn't really working though was the things that she had me write about. So first it was like a story of when you learn something. Okay, I am doing that. That is me. A story of when you learn something. And it could be a story about going to the store. It could be a story about like going on a long trip. It could be a story about, whatever. It just has to be a story about when you learn something. Okay, well that's a story from your life. That is informational story writing. Or informational writing. Which, again, isn't the worst thing to know how to do, but also is not really creative writing, though. Creative writing is there's a huge difference to what creative writing is. And I'll explain what it is. Like, you don't have to be writing a story to be creatively writing, okay? But if you're writing a true story about yourself learning something, the only thing that this will help you do is, I guess, it will help you create your voice. Son of a bitch. Why do they always spawn right there? Like that one specific section. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It's... I have to like really construct my thoughts well to convey what I'm trying to say here. Oh my gosh, there's zombies everywhere. Oh my goodness. Oh my damn. Okay, I might have to run back to my house. This is nuts. I don't know. It's just mind-boggling to me because if you look at all the people that have careers on writing and stuff, nowadays almost all of them are argumentative or informationally based. Like even in the writer's strike, it's really just creative writing that has been striked. Because, and yes, this does sound kind of mean to say, but argumentative is not creativity. Anybody can argue. Anybody. Absolutely anyone. You could get a freaking decrepit old man that can't remember 5 minutes ago and he can argue with you. You can get a 5-year-old that wants to, eat something that you're not allowing them to eat, and they will argue with you. Now, and then on top of that, one sec. On top of that, there are formulas that if you just follow... Oh, I have to get off soon. There are formulas that if you just follow in that thing, you can make an argument about anything. You don't even believe it. That looks very strange, actually. Maybe should have done it the other way. It doesn't look great. There's nothing going that way. Yeah. I don't know if I have enough axe to break it down, but we're doing it the other way. It doesn't look good. Change subject, please. Okay. I'll change it to science. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I just don't like how schools teach stuff. I think it's really dumb. Because obviously school was made for pretty much like... Do you like ARGs? What the heck is an ARG? Augmented reality gaming? I don't know. I don't know what an ARG is. Okay, fine. We'll have one going that way instead. Because... Well, actually... I could have 3. Oh, you don't know? No, I don't. This one could have 3 on it, couldn't it? Or I mean, this limb should have 3 on it. It's freaking huge. Okay. All my work is going to be undone. It's fine. It actually is super fine because this is the last limb, like big limb. The rest are just gonna be little branches out here and there. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. So it's a horror story with lore created by a YouTuber. Oh yes, yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've actually wanted to dip my toes in that eventually because I always thought it was interesting. Ooh. I mean, I may have already started one. You just have to find it. What the hell is even that? My gym or therapy sessions, yeah. Yeah, I actually don't believe any of the stuff I'm saying. I'm just saying it because I'm being held against my will. I don't actually have a job. I'm just like I was kidnapped when I was like 12, and I've just been forced to make Let's Plays for my whole life. And every time I hit 1 million subscribers, I sell it to somebody, and then I make another channel. That'd actually be kind of a cool job. Not gonna lie. Like imagine if not like being held against your will to make Let's Plays, but the what if you knew the YouTube algorithm so well that you would just make channels that had 1 million subscribers, like get it to 1 million, and then sell it to people. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, it would be dumb because how YouTube works, they would find out that, oh, the person that we've been watching isn't actually the owner of the channel anymore. I'm going to unsubscribe. Well, I don't have anything to make another axe. Oh, yeah, I do. Where's my crafting table? I'm going to destroy this limb, start the new one, and then I'll be done. Because I need to go get ready for work. Even though I can definitely be a lot later than I'm going to be. Wendy's grandma's definitely under the belief of that it's totally okay to show up to your job 30 minutes early. Do you like specific? I do like a specific ARG. I forgot which one it was. I know there's the Mandela one. The Mandela catalogs. Those are pretty fun. There was one that MatPat did. And he didn't do it, but he covered it. And then had to immediately tell his fan base to not freaking harass everybody. Mandela catalog, yeah. The one that Markiplier did was kind of cool. The Backrooms did do one? I think the Backrooms did do one.
I don't know. I don't really like try to find them. I just like watching people solve them. Because even though I like solving puzzles and stuff like that, that kind of stuff doesn't really interest me all that much. As in, like, to spend my own time on it. I love lore. I do love some good lore. Like, I will spend hours upon hours listening to Dark Souls and Elden Ring lore. I actually don't care for Elden Ring lore as much as I care for Dark Souls lore, though. Who watch them? I can't watch them alone. Really? Yeah, I guess it's the same. I don't really watch the videos on my own. I watch reactions or I watch. Yeah, I guess it'd just be reactions at that point. Yeah, I watch other YouTubers react to them. I would die of anxiety. Damn. Some of them are intense. The Mandela catalog, I probably couldn't watch that without like having Jacksepticeye go through it, or Mark if he ever does them. I like video games that do ARGs. Like I know Five Nights at Freddy's has done it a few times. Five Nights at Freddy's is probably one of my favorite video games that I've pretty much almost never played, but love watching people play. I love finding out the lore, as convoluted as it is. Sometimes I just want a straight answer. But no, out of all like the video games that I love their lore the most, it'd probably be FromSoft games and oh shit. It would probably be FromSoft games and Five Nights at Freddy's. For sure. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go pick up all this wood. Maybe I'll go to bed first because it's nighttime, and then I'm gonna get off. Unfortunately, some of us have to work for a living. I would also love it if YouTube became my job. That'd be freaking dope. I would love to just stream Minecraft every day. Aww, yeah, I know. It sucks. I hate it probably twice as much as you do. But, you know, it's whatever. What the hell? What even is this? What the hell is even that? So I ran out of blocks or something. Let's go pick all those up before they despawn. You want to know a YouTuber I watch about that? About what? About Five Nights at Freddy's lore? Dark Souls lore? Neither. You're talking about something else? Oh, like a YouTuber you watch for Minecraft? Oh, ARG reaction. Sure. Who do you watch? He's called Immortal Marcus. I think I might have heard of him. Same name sounds familiar. The spelling doesn't look familiar, but it sounds familiar. Look how straight that looks. Looks stupid. Okay. So Got all the wood back. Hopefully I don't have to cut any more freaking wood. I think this should be enough to finish off the last branch. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go... What the hell is that? I think I'm just going to put freaking leaves on it. Maybe in the future I could spice it up with some other branches and stuff. This profile picture is Pewdiepie plush. Peppy. Interesting. What the hell is even this? There we go. Oh. I'm not making another diamond axe. It's not happening. Not gonna do it. Okay. And as always, I'm gonna end off by looking at what I've done, which is almost nothing. No, I finished the first branch, I guess. I didn't realize how freaking long it takes me to do this shit. It's gonna look good. It's gonna look real good, I think. Oh, I don't like how freaking jagged that is. Oh, that looks bad. Oh well, I'll end off by looking at it from the top, and I'll know what to do when I come back. It is what? Looking bad, looking good. Talking about something else. It's really good. I think it's looking pretty decent as well. Like for the first tree I've built in a long time, it's looking pretty freaking good. Yeah, that right there. See that little freaking lip? I know it's going to be another branch, but I'm thinking it looks kind of dumb. But I could also just, because this looks like it's very skinny right here, maybe I just increase the thickness of that and it will make that look better. Because I know it's not done, you know. But these two limbs look pretty freaking good. I think that one's going to look pretty dope. And then we can move on to building basically another castle. So this is going to be a hallway. And this entire thing right here is going to be another castle. I just don't know what the shape is going to be. So, basically, I'm going to get a bunch of this stone. I'm going to shape it out. I'm going to remember the dimensions. And I'm going to go build it in creative. To see like how I want it to look. Because it's got to look similar to this one. But it doesn't have to be exactly the same. Like I'm going to do different designs. And also I need to change up this one as well. Mostly on this wall and the other wall over there. And then on this side. Run please, because I need to go use the bathroom. Then on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. But this building is going to be more forward, like it's going to go from, because see the center hallway is going to be about right here, right? Because it's going to be right across. There's no reason not to do it right across. And then the building is going to go back and forward. So it's just going to be like this giant rectangle, basically. And I'm just going to have to figure out how to make it look good. It's going to be a rectangle, but I'm also going to probably have it come like forward like this. So it's probably going to be an L shape. And look at that. I brought it full circle back to L shapes. Sadiz, what the heck, man? You've been gone for so long. I grew a giant tree since you've been gone, bro. Hope I'll be there. Look at this shit. And I'm about to leave.
Ain't no way you thought of this build yourself. I did. I 100% did. This is all me. I did not. None of this is from a video. Nothing. I wanted to build a giant castle, and I did. This is years. This build right here is literally years ago. I'm going to be expanding it, and then yeah. If you want to know how I'm going to expand it and what everything looks like, I mean, just go to the. Or just rewind on this one video where you can't read. How can you build castle? Dude, you know how many people in the past could not read, and yet we have castles everywhere? Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna extend it, have this big old wing over here. It's gonna be like Hogwarts, basically. And then this side's gonna come out to like, probably to right here, because then it's gonna have its own wing over here. The aristocrat's always red. What if they're blue, dude? What if they were blue? I'm just kidding. That's a stupid joke. Should I have the hallway be taller? Well, it's gonna be like a. Anyway, well, I'll figure it out. I have to go though, because I have to go to work, and I'm gonna have to take a big, giant. Is that a pink tree from the mod, or what? No. So these are new. This is a new update for Bedrock. These pink trees. So I'm making a giant one because I want to, and then I'm gonna surround it with a castle. Pretty much. And instead of having to be different castle buildings, it's all gonna be one castle now. So it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be sick. I just had to figure out the design for this castle, design for this castle right here, and then what I'm gonna do with the rest of it. We're all building Souls game map. Seriously though. Anyway, I really have to go. I'm sorry, Sadis. Usually I'd be able to stream for a lot longer. On my days off, I'll probably stream until, 2, like I usually did. So if you can make it to those, the next day off streams are going to be Monday and Friday next week. So hopefully you can make it to those. If not, totally fine. No worries, shit stream anyways. Anyway, I gotta go. About to close the game and just leave my freaking stream on because I'm a